Hello all, welcome to our IDT fast track classes, class number 6. Again, to avoid confusion, for this class also, let me give you a clarification. Sir, we are going in two tracks, track 1 and we are going like a track 2 as well. Track 2 is the morning session, track 1 is the evening session. Track 1 is the evening session. So if you see, sorry, this is the 4th class only, right? Yes. We have class 1, class 2, and then now we are into class 3 in track 1. And in track 2, okay, class number wise, sir, don't get confused here. Class 1, class 2, and this is class 4. Whereas a class 3 was taken in the morning. So in track 2, we are going with the customs, whereas in track 1, we are going with the GST. So in class 1 and class 2, we have completed the introduction chapter, and now we are starting with the supply chapter. Okay? So don't get confused, right? I think you are having that clarity. And for the students who are yet to enroll for the fast track batch and still they're thinking of like, see, let me show you our material for the fast track batch, and it would be even provided for the regular batch students also now on. So this is our handwritten material. Okay, this is the handwritten material. So this is something which has come out in very beautiful way, I think, like. Okay, so I thought like maybe my writing will not look good and all. So I have a doubt backside of my mind running like how this handwritten will turn out to be. So, but I think like this, on looking at this book, I have seen like my effort didn't went waste. Like it was like more than what I expected. So the point is like you could see it's like very simple, and we have covered almost 110 marks related weightage in this handwritten notebook. Okay, and even the wordings also, they are like legitimate. I mean, they are like visible clearly, easily understandable also, and wherever possible I have given charts. So it's like you referring to a notebook only, but it's written by me, but still it definitely enhances your preparation. Okay, so even if you are like thinking of like only the material only, also this material would be available. Even you could buy this handbook, I mean this handwritten alone. This handwritten name we have kept it as like Glancer. This Glancer alone you can buy, or even our applicator, the workbook and Glancer together also you can buy. Okay, but this is something which turned out to be extraordinary. Okay, so you could look at the book also. By looking at the book itself, like it looks like okay, simple only IDT, I could clear, like I could revise it like 3-4 times easily. So that confidence you'll get by looking at this book only. And it's not like I might be covering only important topics, not like that. So when I take a chapter, whatever I discuss in class, everything would be covered in that particular chapter. Okay, so I'm not leaving any topics also. So if I take a supply chapter now, then supply whatever is needed, okay, whatever is there, that everything is covered here. Okay, if at all I left the chapter alone. Okay, completely I left the chapter. Okay, those chapters also I said in the index itself, whether for those chapters handwritten is available or not, in the index itself I have clearly mentioned. Okay, I think it's not might be visible in this particular video for you because okay, I'll be little far from the camera, right, and from the big screen, so it would be little far. You could see, I mean, anyhow we are discussing from this only, this is only, but PDF and the print version will be having little difference, right? But now the print version is also so good. Okay. So Now we are starting with the chapter in our fast track batch, supply. Supply is the chapter which is very, very important because this chapter is having a weightage, minimum weightage of 9 marks. It may go up to 16 marks also. It may go up to 16 marks. When it is 16 marks it means 2 7 marks questions are being asked. Okay, like that the pattern is going. So you should be very much keen and very much understand each and every concept, either definition or clarification. Sir, it could be from anywhere. Okay, I cannot assure you like only from this areas. However, composite and mixed supply is having a edge. Okay, so if at all the priority has to be given now, first it is like composite supply and mixed supply, then definitions, then other parts. Okay, but I would say like it's better to read everything which is there in the handwritten, line by line, point by point. So everything is important only because this chapter, okay, is giving us, fetching us like 16 marks in the maximum range. Minimum also it's giving us 9 marks. So it is like damn important for us to continue, for us to study this chapter in a thorough way. Okay, so now let us start with the definition of goods, because the act we are discussing itself is the GST Act, Goods and Service Taxes Act. So we should know first what is called good clearly, then only we could understand the concepts better, right? So first of all, good. What is called good? Good means every kind of movable property. Only if it is movable, it can be called as good. Only if it is mobile, it can be called as what? Goods. So goods means every kind of mobile property. And it has inclusions as well as exclusions. This goods has having both inclusions as well as exclusions. So first we'll talk about exclusions. Good excludes money. So money is not goods. If at all you have attended the morning session, in morning session I have explained the definition of goods in customs also. Okay, so what I said there, good in customs, sir, the definition is like goods includes vessels, aircraft, baggage, stores, okay, currency and negotiable instruments. So in the definition of goods in customs, currency is included, but whereas in GST, goods are not included. Okay, so here goods means every kind of movable property, excludes money. What is money here? Money doesn't mean only the legal tender, the currency. Okay, it even includes the money equivalents also. So money means cash, checks, demand draft, promissory notes, bills of exchange. Okay, so all these are money. Sir, I am telling you here itself, certain old coins or some fancy number related coins would be sold for a high price. Let's say a 1 paisa or a 1 rupee note, they might be selling for some interested people would be having the they would be having the hobby of collecting old coins and all. So 5 paisa, 1 paisa, 1 rupee notes. Okay, so those coins they will be buying for buying even by paying like 100 rupees, 200 rupees for a 1 paisa also. So there it's not money. Okay, then it's not money, that is supply only. Money now which is acceptable legally now. Okay, that 1 paisa and all is now not legally acceptable, right? So they are just purchased who are interested in collecting those coins, and they'll be keeping there as like a showcasing them only. Otherwise, they are not accepted as consideration in any shop. So those are not money. Okay, so money means cash, checks, demand draft, promissory notes, and bills of exchange. So these are not goods. And even securities also not goods. What are called securities? Securities now shares, bonds, debentures, and derivatives. Derivatives now options, futures, forward contracts. So all these will come under the derivatives. So these are not goods. So good means every kind of mobile property. If it is movable, then it is called what? Good. If it is mobile, then it is called as what? Good. However, goods excludes money and security. Money you can carry, it is mobile, but still it's not a good. Okay, and includes however, it includes actionable claims. So what is called actionable claim? In simple, actionable claim means claim to any debt. Actionable claim means what? Claim to any debt. You are having with a piece of paper or with an instrument I am having, I can go and demand some person to pay me 10,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh, any amount. If I can demand him to pay, then the instrument I am holding is called as actionable claim. However, it should be an unsecured one. Claim to any debt which is unsecured. If it is secured one, let's say I have mortgaged a house, then also I have mortgaged the house to bank, then also bank will be having a document only. Through that document only, to that mortgage deed only, they'll be demanding me to pay the loan amount. That is also actionable claim. No, because there is mortgage there. They are having security. When they are having security, that is not an actionable claim. To call it as an actionable claim, it should be unsecured. So actionable claim means claim to any debt which is unsecured. Example, check. Okay, if you are having a check, with the check you can ask the bearer of the check to pay that money. And DD, bills of exchange, lottery ticket, all these are what? Actionable claims. Okay, so it even includes growing crops, grass and things attached to land. Okay, goods even includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to land, but which are agreed to be separated. Agreed to be separated before making supply. Actionable claim means what? Growing crops, grass and things attached to land which are agreed to be separated before making supply. Which are agreed to be separated before making supply. Okay, so now let me revise the definition once again for you. What is called goods? Good means every kind of movable property. It excludes money and securities, whereas it includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to the land which are agreed to be severed before making supply. Okay, let us take an example here. Okay, see, look at this example. There is a supplier who has sold a laptop to a recipient. Who sold laptop. The laptop value is 1 lakh and on that GST 18,000, total 1 lakh 18,000. Sir, here one way this person is giving laptop and the other way this recipient is giving money. So only laptop is only getting taxed, not the money paid. Okay, so the laptop value 1 lakh is only chargeable to tax because this is qualified under the definition of goods, whereas money is not good. Since money involved, only laptop value is taxed. The money is not being taxed here. Okay, sir, I didn't understand, sir. I'm giving money only now for laptop. So how could you say like money is not being taxed? Sir, the basics, don't forget the basics. In every contract, okay, there will be two considerations. For me, there will be one consideration. For you, there will be another consideration. Let's say I'm selling laptop. For me, money is the consideration. For you, laptop is the consideration. So there are two considerations involved. One is laptop, other one is money. But here, laptop alone is being taxed. Money is not being taxed. So still little bit confusion. Huh? Now, let us take it like, we'll remove money there. If you see here, there's a supplier who is selling laptop to a recipient. Okay, laptop. But in consideration, he is not paying money. He is giving 3 mobiles. So laptop also good, mobile also good. So in these cases, on mobiles also GST leviable, laptop also GST leviable. On both these consideration, GST is being levied. If money is involved now, that's why only one way it is getting taxed. If money is not involved, then both the ways it becomes taxable. Understand? Okay? That way, the money has been excluded from the definition of good. Okay? See here, you could see, no money involved. Both laptop and mobile are taxable. Here, money is involved, money value not taxable, only laptop value is being taxed. Okay? So now, what is the definition, sir? Once again, one last time. Good means every kind of mobile property. It excludes money and securities, whereas includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to the land. Okay, even it is a crop or anything which is attached to the land, growing crops, grass or things attached to the land, okay, amounts to supply only, but which are agreed to be separated before making supply. Then service. What is called service? Service means anything other than goods, money and securities. What is called service? Service means anything is good, anything is service only. If it is not good, not money, not service. So let's say I am having a commercial land, okay, I am having a plot of land, okay, which could be used for commercial purposes also, or it may be agriculture land also. Tell me whether this land is good. No, right? Because to call it as good, it should be movable. Okay, land is not good. Fine. Is it money? Land, is it money? No, it's not money. Is it security? No, it's not share, bond, debenture. So it's not even security. If it is not good, if it is not money, if it is not security, then obviously it is what? Service. Sir, how can land can be called as service, sir? Sir, definition is saying that only, sir. What can I do? Okay, read the definition once again. Service means anything. Anything is service only if it is not good, money and security. Sir, my brain is not processing this, sir. Whether it is processing or not, it is service only. Okay, whether you accept it is not, whether you accept it or not, who cares? Okay, law is saying like what? If it is not good, if it is not money, if it is not security, then it is what? Service. Service means anything other than good, money and security. Okay. So now service even includes the second point, sir. First point is simple. Service means anything other than good, money and security. Anything other than good, money and security. And even service includes use of money or conversion of money in one form to another. Sir, what I said till now, money is not good, I said here. Here I said like money is not service. But in the second point I am saying like money directly is not good or service. But if you are converting money from one form to another, you are converting money from cash form to DD, or else one currency to another. I mean, you are having rupees, you are converting it into dollars. You are having one denomination like 500 rupees note and you are converting it into another denomination 10 rupees. So it includes use of money or conversion of money from one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another. You are converting cash to DD, rupee to dollar, or 500 rupees note to 10 rupees notes. For this conversion, if any separate consideration is involved, okay, for this conversion, if any separate consideration, okay, it includes like what? Conversion, if any, and for that, if any separate consideration involved, to the extent of such separate consideration, if any separate consideration involved, I mean, when you go to bank and provide cash, bank what they will do, they'll convert the cash into DD. To convert that, bank will charge certain commission, maybe 50 rupees. Let's say you are converting 1 lakh cash to DD. Then bank may be charging 100 rupees or 200 rupees as commission. To the extent of such commission, it is service. If any separate consideration is involved, to the extent of such separate consideration, to the extent of such separate consideration, to the extent of such separate consideration, it is supply. To the extent of such separate consideration, it is service. Full amount, it is not service. Sir, I have converted 1 lakh. 1 lakh is not service. 1 lakh cash to convert into DD, bank charged 300 rupees as commission. Only to the extent of that 300 rupees, it is service. Okay? And the same way, I am having 10 lakh rupees. 10 lakhs I am converting into, the 10 lakhs I am converting into what? Dollars. Okay, for that I have incurred some 5,000 rupees as conversion charges. Those 5,000 is only service, not the 10 lakhs gross amount. Okay, whatever is the service charges taken by bank or the currency conversion dealers, that alone is the service. And then service includes facilitating or arranging a transaction in securities. Sir, buying and selling securities is neither good nor service. Let's say I have Reliance shares. I am selling it to some other person. Okay, I got money. That is not a service. Okay, example, Mr. A sold Reliance shares to Mr. B, and then B paid money for it. So now share is a security, neither good nor service. Money is also neither good nor service. So in this transaction, it is neither supply of good nor supply of service, because both those doesn't fit into the definition of good or service. But then here, sir, usually can we buy and sell shares on our own? No, right? For buying and selling shares, definitely a stockbroker should be involved, right? So what? I don't know who is willing to buy Reliance shares. I have Reliance shares, but I don't know who is willing to buy. So what I'll do, I'll tell to my broker, okay, nowadays it's like Demat account only. If you place an order, every time it is routed through stockbroker only. So how it works means, I'll be telling my broker like, I have this many Reliance shares and I want to sell at this price. Now the broker will find out a buyer and then he settles the transaction. Now why, this broker doesn't have any other work, he has work, that itself is his work. So for that, he'll charge certain amount as commission for facilitating this transaction of buying and selling shares. Okay, so that commission received by stockbroker is also a service, So now understand, service means anything other than good, money and securities. However, it includes a transaction, it includes use of money or conversion of money in one form to another, one denomination to another, or one currency to another, for which any separate consideration is involved. Then to the extent of such separate consideration, it is service. Then security is neither good nor service, but a transaction facilitating or arranging a transaction in securities is a service only, that also to the extent of commission received. Hello, I think, are you able to understand, right, what is called good and what is called service? Okay. So what is meant by good? Good means every kind of movable property. Only if it is movable it can be called as good. Okay. It has exclusions. What are exclusions? Money and securities. Money means cash, check, DDs, promissory notes and bills of exchange. Sir, here you might be having a question also. See, here I am saying like what? Money means cash, checks, DDs, promissory note, bills of exchange. Here if you look at the actionable claims, here also I am saying check, DD, bill of exchange. If you see, the check, DD, bill of exchange are common in both the places. Check, DD, bill of exchange are common in both the places. So now, if you look at the point here we are saying like these are excluded. Checks, DDs, promissory notes, bills of exchange. Whereas here we are saying like these are included because these are part of actionable claims. Now the final question is whether these checks, DDs, promissory notes are good or not good, sir. Because here they are covered under money and saying like excluded. Here they are covered, I mean this way they are covered under actionable claims and they are becoming inclusion. Sir, understand, if at all they are not, if at all you treat them as money, then first itself they are not goods. First point, clear. Second point, let us assume they are not money, they are only actionable claims only. But when you go subsequently into this chapter, there is something called negative list. There, actionable claims being this check, DD, bills of exchange are neither supply of good nor supply of service. I mean, even though this check, bills of exchange, DD, even if you treat them as actionable claim also, not money, assume like they treated as actionable claim also, but still they will not be treated as supply. That would be coming in the latter part of this chapter. These are not part of supply. So even these three either fall under the good definition also, they'll not be supply. If they are treated as money, first in the definition of good itself, they'll be excluded. So that's why, okay, even if you treat them as actionable claim also, there is not a big problem. Anyhow, in the latter part, they'll be treated as like not a supply. So there is no conflict of interest here. That's why they didn't have any clarification regarding this. Hello, are you able to understand? Then interest or discount. Interest or discount. So understand, there's a bank, and there's a customer. So now this bank has given him 10 lakh rupees loan. This bank has given 10 lakh rupees loan. Now this customer has repaid this loan in 10 years. Repaid in 10 years. Will he be repaying only 10 lakhs? Huh? No, right? 10 lakhs plus interest another 4 lakhs. Interest another 4 lakhs also he has paid. So now this is like when they are given loan bank, it is a transaction in money. Bank given to customer money, customer repaid to the bank also money. Hi. Okay, bank given to customer money, and even customer also repaid to bank also money only. So both the ways it is what? Money only. But here there is a separate consideration involved. Even though both are being money, but there is a separate consideration involved, which is interest. Sir, no bank will be giving loan if it gets only the money which has given by it. If a bank given 10 lakhs, obviously it expects something more than 10 lakhs only in return. If it is only getting 10 lakhs, why bank will do such kind of things and all? Okay, so whatever is the interest here is there na, to the extent of this interest, it is service only. It is what? Service only. However, understand here, the exemption chapter has classified it like any interest on loans and advances, either by bank or by any other person. There is nowhere specified like only for banks it is exempted. To any person, if he is getting anything like interest or discount, that is a service only, but that interest and discount is exempted. Exempted from GST. Yes. Yes. If you are following BCCA books, then I think they would be covered, because institute bringing those questions from the mock test papers or from the study material only. There are no new questions being brought there. Okay. And if any discount, sir, bills will be discounted by banks. Let's say there is a 1 lakh rupees bill that would be discounted by the bank for 95,000. I mean, I have a bill which would be paid after 3 months, 1 lakh, but I want immediate cash. So what I did, I taken this bill to bank, and bank has given me instantly 95,000, and that bank will wait for 3 months and then encash it. Bank will get 1 lakh. So how much discount bank we got? 5,000. That is nothing but interest only. So if any interest or discount earned by a bank or any person, that is exempted. If any penal interest, late payment charges on credit card are levied, those are also exempted. However, with respect to loan, there will be charges like processing fee, documentation charges, those other additional charges, those are not exempted. Okay, only the interest part, penal interest part is exempted. Okay, processing fee, documentation fee, or any other charges levied by bank, those are not exempted. Those are taxable only. Those are taxable only. Okay, now taxability of transaction in securities. Okay, with respect to transaction in securities, sir, now there are forward contracts or futures. What does it mean by a forward contract, sir? Let's say forward contract, let's say for example, I'm taking like forward contract, I'll be buying gold, but I don't want now. I want gold after 9 months. Let's say I will take the date also. I want gold on 1st December 2025, not now. Okay, but considering the recent hikes in gold prices, I'm worried whether the gold will may touch like 1,30,000 also by that time, or it may fall also. So what I did means, I have entered into a contract with one person. Okay, I am the buyer, there's a seller also. So I have entered into a contract with him, or else like seller or buyer, anyway you can take, no problem. Okay, I'm a seller, I have entered into a contract with buyer that I will be selling gold not now, 1st December only, but contract is being entered now. Like on 1st December, okay, the gold will be delivered to him 10 grams at 1,10,000. 10 grams at what price? 1,10,000. On which day? 1st December 2025. Sir, 1st December, the actual price may be more than 1,10,000 or less than 1,10,000. But today, we have agreed to deliver gold on 1st December or to provide gold on 1st December at 1,10,000. Now, 1st December came. On 1st December, in a forward contract or in futures, we have two options to settle. One is like, on 1st December, I will have to give him 10 grams gold and that person will be paying me 1,10,000. So there involves delivery of gold. Delivery of gold. So then delivery of gold is involved now. So then it is supply only. I mean, then it is treated as what? Supply of good only, because good is being transferred. Whereas there is other kind of settlement. No actual gold is needed. What will be done? Let's say I have agreed to sell at 1,10,000 now, but that day the price is 1,30,000. That day on 1st December, actually the gold price is how much? 1,30,000. So what is happening? I have agreed to sell something at 1,10,000 for which market value is 1,30,000. So I am giving away for 1,10,000 only, but the market value is 1,30,000. So I am having loss 20,000. So that 20,000 rupees I will give him. I will not be giving gold. Only margin settlement. Whatever is the difference, I'm getting loss. That fellow is getting gain. So I will be giving the 20,000. Other way, the gold price at 1st December has come down to 90,000. So now see, I have the right to sell at 1,10,000, whereas the market value of it is only 90,000. The market value of it is only 90,000. Then the 20,000 is the gain to me, Such 20,000 alone I'll collect from my particular buyer. So that in that case, no actual gold is being delivered, only margin is being settled. Okay, so in a forward contract, the settlement may be done in two ways. One is like by way of actually delivering the underlying commodity. Here like gold, it may be gold or any other metal or anything. Okay, whereas other way, instead of actually delivering the underlying commodity, we might just provide the margin. We might just settle with the margin. So in such cases, see, in a forward contract or future, if it involves delivery of underlying commodity, then it is good only. Only margin is being settled, then it is a security, it is not a supply. Hello, I think, are you able to understand, right? Then sale of secured debt, interest rate swaps, foreign exchange swaps, sale of secured debt, interest, foreign exchange swaps. Okay, these secured debts, interest, foreign exchange swaps, they are in the nature of derivatives. All these secured debts, interest rate swaps, foreign exchange swaps, much detailedly, like SFM faculty, Ravi sir only can explain those things much detailedly. Okay, even if I try to explain these things also, I may not give you proper clarity regarding these secured debts, interest rate swaps, foreign exchange swaps. All these are under the nature of derivatives only, hence they are securities, they are not covered under the definition of goods. Okay, so only with respect to forward contracts and futures, if it involves delivery or settlement of underlying commodity, involves delivery or settlement of underlying commodity, then it is what? Good. Otherwise, it is security only. If it is security, then it is not good nor service. Hello, are you able to understand, right? Are you able to understand, right? So now we are moving into the definition of related person. Sir, in exam also already it has been asked to write out, to write down straight away about who is called related person. Okay, straight away this definition is being asked. Write about related persons and distinct persons. A 7 marks question is already tested in exam. It was there in the mock test paper also. It will be there even in our workbook also. Okay, let me show you the question in our workbook also, so that you'll be having a kind of belief towards me. Otherwise you think like simply sir is saying, okay, first question itself you could see in December 23 it has been asked. Explain related persons and distinct persons under GST. Okay. So see, who is called related person? To call them as related person, they should be members of same family. Family means what? Spouse, only spouse. Don't take add s. Okay, singular only. Even if you have interest, that's not allowed. Okay, spouse. And then children. Okay, children no limit. How many other children you have, they will come under the definition of family only. Okay, spouse and children. So this alone is called as again micro family. And then, so when it comes to this micro family, I mean father, mother, children, those 4 members, like irrespective of whether they are dependent or not, they will be form part of the family definition here. When it comes to parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, they will be coming under the definition of family only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. If they are not dependent, then they are not part of family. Okay? So what is called family? Spouse, children, irrespective of dependent or independent. When it comes to parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, they will be part of family only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Okay. So related person means they are members of same family, or such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Okay. Let me tell you in this way. There is a company called A Limited and there is a company called B Limited. In A Limited, B is director. B is acting as director. Whereas in B Limited, A is acting as director. So in each of others business, so A private limited, B private limited, in these 2 companies, in one company, the other one is acting as director. In the other company, this person is acting as director. So they are officers or directors of one another business. Then both A and B are also related persons. Then such persons are legally recognized partners. They are what? Legally recognized partners. I mean, there is a partnership form like ABC and Co. In this ABC and Co, A, B, C, all these 3 are partners. If this ABC and Co has a partnership deed executed, then this partnership will have legality. Then these 3 are called as legally recognized partners. If they just start a business, assuming them they are like partners, but there is no partnership deed, then they are not treated as legally recognized partners. When they are not legally recognized partners, we cannot call them as related persons. When they are not legally recognized partners, we cannot call them as what? Related persons. Such persons are legally recognized partners. And such persons are employer and employee. Such persons are employer and employee. If they are employer and employee, then also they are treated as related person. Then any person controls, owns or holds directly or indirectly greater than or equal to 25% voting power. In any entity where a person controls, owns or holds directly or indirectly greater than or equal to 25% voting power or equal to 25% voting power. In A Limited, Z has 27% voting power. He cannot control A. To exercise control, at sometimes more than 50% is needed, but sometimes, okay, voting power is not relevant to control also. Now Z, okay, Z will be having 27% voting power in A Limited. Then both Z and A Limited are related persons. Any person controls, owns or holds directly or indirectly greater than 25% voting power. Then a person directly or indirectly controls the other. Sir, you might be thinking like, sir, control means more than 50% only, right? Only with 51% only we can control. If in the before point you said like 25% voting power, then to control obviously 50% is needed na? That's what you think. No, it's not like that. Control can be made even though there is no voting power. With 1%, 2% also sometimes you can exercise control. You can exercise control. Okay? How? You might be having a question, right? So let's say there's a company called A to Z Solutions Limited. A to Z Solutions Private Limited. In this company, there are total 20 shareholders. How many? 20 shareholders. All these 20 shareholders, but the promoter is Mr. A. Promoter is Mr. A. This promoter A is having only 5% shareholding. The others are having 5% or 10%. But all of them are like friends and relatives to Mr. A. And all those people are just kept that money by trusting A. They doesn't know individually or separately, those persons doesn't know individually. Okay? Except, the other names now like B, C, D, E, like that. B doesn't know C, C does not know D. Okay? Individually, they doesn't know other shareholders. For all of them, the common person is A only. So everybody invested just by trusting A. So now this A is only having 5%, but still he can exercise control because the other shareholders doesn't know what's happening. Only A knows. Okay, they're trusting A. So then A will only be controlling everything because they just blindly give whatever A is done because they know personally A only. So in such case, even with this 5% also, A controls the entity. So A is having what? Control. A is having what? Control. So a person directly or indirectly controls the other. Okay. So sometimes even though you don't have 25% voting power, still you can control. Okay. Now majority of startups, the promoter who came up with that idea, once it got succeeded, may not have the 25% voting power also. Okay. May not have that 5% also, 4%, 3% only they'll have on all these successful recent startups. Okay. These tech companies especially. Okay, the promoter would be having 3-4% only, but he is the one who is actually running the operations and all. Okay, so he exercises control, but not through shareholding. Okay, so then he is also called as what? Related person. Then a third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. A third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. See here, A Limited and B Limited, they are having 55%, and A Limited is having 70% in C Limited. Now, both B Limited and C Limited are commonly controlled by A. The third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. A controls both B and C. Then B and C are also treated as what? Related persons. Then, such persons together control a third person. Such persons together control a third person. I mean, both these two companies, A Limited and B Limited, together they are controlling C Limited. Then these are joint venturers. These are JVs, joint venturers. Those joint venturers also will be treated as what? Related person. Then explanation. When one of them is acting as a sole agent or distributor of other. Explanation is what? When one of them is acting as a sole agent or distributor of the other. Sir, I am producing a manufacture certain goods. All of my goods will be distributed, sold by only one particular agent. Now that agent can control me because suddenly if he says like, I'll not sell your goods, then I'll be, I have questions regarding my going concern. The same way, he is selling only my goods. One day I'm saying like, I'll not sell my goods through you, I'll be finding a different agent. Then he is also in a position like, his going concern will also get affected. So we both are in a controlling position. I can control him, he can control me, or at least influence me. So that's why we both are what? Related persons. Now see, what are called related persons, sir? They are members of same family. What is called family here? Spouse, children, parents, brothers and sister, grandparents. So family means spouse, children, irrespective of dependent or independent. Whereas parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, they are part of family only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Then such persons are officers or directors of one another business. And then such persons are legally recognized partners. Such persons are employer and employee. Okay, when they are employer and employee, also related persons. Then such person controls, owns, holds directly or indirectly greater than or equal to 25% voting power. Then a person directly or indirectly controls the other. A third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. A third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. And then such person together controls a third person. Such person together controls a third person. So in that case also they are treated as what? Related person. And then again acting as sole agent or distributor of the others. Okay. Now we'll be discussing about distinct persons. The next concept is about what? Distinct persons. Now see, under GST, a person is required to obtain more than one registration in a state. More than one registration is in a state. When, sir, I am having 5 branches within Telangana. Within Telangana, I am having 5 branches. Then, if I want, I can run all my 5 branches with one registration. If I want to register separately for each branch, then I have the option to register separately also. It's completely my choice. But I am having branches only in Telangana. So within Telangana, if I want, I can register all those under a single GST number. Okay, if I want, I can do separate registrations also. 5 registration, 2 registration, 3 registrations. I can do in the way I want. Okay, this is the first one. Then second one, if I am having place of businesses in multiple states. I have a branch in Telangana, I have a branch in Tamil Nadu, I have a branch in Maharashtra. So I'm operating from 3 different states, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Telangana. So I'm operating in 3 different states. In such cases, I need to obtain registration in all those 3 states separately. I need to obtain registration in all those 3 states separately. A person who is required to obtain registration in more than one state. It's not optional. Okay, I'm having place of businesses in 3 states, right? Then in all the 3 states, I should register mandatorily. It's not optional. So either optionally I'm going for multiple registrations, or mandatorily, because of mandatory reason, I'm in multiple states, I could go for multiple registrations. So because of any of these reasons, either in the same state or in different states, if I am going for multiple registrations, then each of such registration would be treated as distinct person. Sir, I'm Manideep. I'm having only one PAN. With this PAN, I'm having 2 different GST registrations. Assume one is in Hyderabad, the other one is in Chennai. Since I'm having 2 GST registrations linked with the same PAN, each of such registration has to be treated as a separate person, distinct person under GST. Each of such registration has to be treated as what? Distinct person. Where a person has obtained registration in one state, okay? This is the first part of distinct person, sir. This is the first part. A person who is required to obtain more than one registration in a state, or a person who has obtained more than one who has obtained registrations in more than one state. In any of these cases, then each of such registration has to be treated as a distinct person. Then understand, sir. A person has obtained registration in one state in respect of a establishment, and such person has an establishment in another state also, which is not required to be registered. Sir, I am having two establishments, I mean two branches. One is required to register, which is in AP. Whereas the other one is in Telangana, which is not required to register. Let's see this example. Rakesh, Mr. Rakesh is having businesses in Tamil Nadu and AP. In Tamil Nadu, he is running only a petrol station, gas station or petrol station, where he is selling only fuel, nothing other than fuel. He will not sell anything. Okay, petrol, diesel. Petrol, diesel, all these are out of the scope of GST, right? Hence, these are non-taxable supplies. Now, section 23 says like, when you are exclusively engaged in making exempted supplies or non-taxable supplies, you are not required to register. So, the branch in Tamil Nadu is not required to register anymore. Are you able to understand, right? Okay. So, Rakesh is running a petrol station in Tamil Nadu, which is like non-taxable supplies. So as per section 23, when a person is exclusively engaged in making non-taxable supplies, then he is not required to register. So the petrol station in Tamil Nadu is not required to register. So it is an unregistered establishment. Whereas in AP, he is selling petrol along with automobile spare parts. So okay, in the fuel station only, if you want any automobile spare parts like engine oil, or any brake oil, lubricants, if any need, they will be sold. So which are both taxable and non-taxable. Now in this case 23 does not come. It does not give relaxation here. So this person is required to get registered. So has to get registered. Has to get registered. So this is a registered establishment, whereas this is an unregistered establishment. The same person, one establishment is registered in one state, whereas the other establishment in another state is not required to register. In this case also, these are treated as establishments of distinct persons. These are treated as what? Establishments of distinct persons. You cannot say like that Tamil Nadu branch and Andhra Pradesh branch are one person related only. Both those has to be treated as like what? Two distinct persons. Hello, are you able to understand, right? Okay, now let me go and take you into the workbook as well. Here and then we'll finish off there, so it would be easy for us. Explain related person and distinct person under GST. This is an exam question, and this is asked is the exam suggested answer. I didn't make any changes to the exam suggested answer, so I want you to know how the evaluator is expecting. Okay, sir, it's not like this is the model answer, but to an extent we should reach here. Okay, see, as per explanation 2 section 15, person shall be deemed to be, okay, person shall be deemed to be related if such persons are officers or directors of one another's business, such persons are legally recognized in business, legally recognized partners, such persons are employer and employee, if any person directly or indirectly owns, controls or holds 25% or more of the outstanding stock or shares, one of them directly or indirectly controls the others, both of them are directly or indirectly controlled by a third person, together they are directly or indirectly control a third person, they are members of the same family. Okay, so then these are related persons. Now see, person here even includes legal persons. They need not to be just humans also. Okay, companies, okay, they also will come here. They can also be called as related persons. Person include here legal persons. And then person who are associated in the business of one another, in that one is the sole agent or sole distributor. However, okay, then they shall also be deemed to be related. Okay, agent and distributor. So this is what related person. Now we are moving forward to distinct persons. We are moving forward to discuss what? Distinct persons. Every place of business of a person where separate registration is obtained for making supply, then that would be considered as a distinct person. Very simple explanation, sir. You could see every place of business. If such place of business got a separate registration, then treat it as like a separate person only, nothing but distinct person. Now see, 25(4). A person who is required to obtain more than one registration in one state or union territory, or more than one state or union territory, shall in respect of each such registration, when he is required to register at more than one state,
then each of such registration is treated as distinct person for the purpose of this act. Then, where a person who has obtained is required to obtain registration in a state in respect of an establishment, has an establishment in another state or union territory, then such establishment shall be treated as establishments of distinct person. Then both those branches also has to be treated as like what? Establishments of two different persons. Okay, so this is the question here. Explain about related persons and distinct persons under GST. Okay, is it clear? Then let us move forward. Now we'll be going with the definition of consideration. We'll be going with what? The definition of consideration. Consideration means any payment made or agreed to be made. Consideration means what? Any payment which is made or agreed to be made. Sir, I went to a laptop store and I'm purchasing a laptop. That seller said like, the laptop I choose, he's saying like 1 lakh. I paid 1 lakh. Then consideration is what? Any amount, any payment made. I paid 1 lakh, that is consideration. Second one, agreed to be made. Second one is like, I said like, I cannot pay 1 lakh now. I'll pay 50,000 now. And the other 50,000 I will be making after 1 month. 50,000 I'll pay now, other 50,000 afterwards, after 1 month. So now, payment made, 50,000 is also consideration, and I agreed to made after 1 month, how much? 50,000. So the 50,000 which is paid now is also consideration. The other 50,000 which is agreed to be paid after 1 month is also called as consideration. So consideration means any amount, any payment made or agreed to be made. And then consideration may be in money or otherwise. So okay, I went to the laptop store. I need, the laptop value is 1 lakh. I paid 50,000 cash. For the other 50,000, I don't have money. I said like, I'll do audit for your store. Okay, I'll do audit for your store, or else instead of audit, I said like, I'll do GST filing for your store, or else I'll maintain books of accounts for your store for the other 50,000. So I'm discharging partly in money and partly in service. So the consideration need not to be in money also. It can be in money or otherwise. Otherwise, it could be a service, it could be any other good, anyway. Okay, so consideration means any payment made or agreed to be made, whether in money or otherwise. Then in relation to what? Supply of good, services, or both. In relation to supply of good, services, or both. And then that money, okay, for the laptop, 1 lakh, okay, 50,000, I said like I could pay in money, and the other 50,000 worth I'll be providing service. It could be done in any way. Next one is like, it need not to be like that 1 lakh has to be paid by me only, right? Okay, so I went and selected a laptop. I'll only be using laptop, but 1 lakh is paid by BCCA. Can the laptop store guy say like, no, 1 lakh you are using, you only have to pay, BCCA cannot pay that? Can he say like that? No, he cannot say like that, right? 1 lakh can be paid by me or by any other person on behalf of me. It could be by any other person. So the consideration can be from recipient or by any other person. So it's not like consideration should be flown only from the recipient. It could be flown from any other person on behalf of recipient also. And then consideration shall not include any subsidy given by central and state government. Consideration shall not include any subsidy given by central and state government. See, HP company selling laptops. Okay, assume the laptop is valuing 30,000. But what Telangana government said means, sell this laptop to government school students. The students who are studying in government schools, for them, Telangana government asked like to sell those laptops only for 10,000. Only for how much? 10,000. Now the student paid 10,000 only. But if HP company, if they are selling for 10,000 only laptop, then they will be suffering losses, right? How could they sell 30,000 worth laptop only for 10,000? The other 20,000 is paid by Telangana government. It's not like they are foregoing 20,000. The other 20,000 is paid by whom? The other 20,000 is paid by Telangana government. So the 20,000 which is paid by Telangana government. Sir, if you could see, consideration need not to be received from recipient. It could be one other person also. So 10,000 from government school student, 20,000 from Telangana government. It could have happened that way, fine. But when government is bearing any amount on behalf of student or any other person, any NGO or anyone, then that is called as subsidy. Okay, here 20,000 which is paid by government is there na. This is called as subsidy. What the definition last point saying? Consideration shall not include any subsidy which is given by central and state government. Sir, here in the place of Telangana government, assume there is BCCA. BCCA is bearing the 20,000. Then BCCA is not government, right? Then don't exclude. Then in such case, 30,000 will be the consideration if BCCA is paying 20,000. But here it's not BCCA who is paying, Telangana government. Since Telangana government is paying 20,000, this 20,000 subsidy shall not part of consideration. I mean, only 10,000 will be treated as consideration, not 30,000, because the 10,000 subsidy which is given by central government or state government shall not form part of consideration. Look at the definition once again, sir. Consideration means any payment made or agreed to be made, whether in money or otherwise, in relation to supply of good, service or both, whether by recipient or by any other person. However, it shall not include any subsidy given by central government and state government. Okay, then the next part of the definition of consideration. Consideration even includes the monetary value of any act or forbiddance to act is also consideration. Let's say okay, so now see here, what is called the monetary value of any act or forbiddance to act. So let's say, example, BCCA, example only, sir. Okay, don't think me like I'm that much rich. BCCA is paying me 5 lakhs for taking a batch. Okay, I wish it would be good if it has happened. Okay, BCCA is paying me 5 lakhs for taking a batch. Then they are saying me like, I cannot take class elsewhere. Further, for not taking class elsewhere in any place other than BCCA, they are offering me to pay another 2 lakhs. Okay, this is also not happening. Okay, here there's 5 lakhs, another 2 lakhs here. 5 lakhs for taking class in BCCA, that is consideration. 2 lakhs for what? For not taking classes elsewhere. Okay, I should not take class elsewhere. I should be committed only to BCCA. So then this 2 lakhs which is paying na, then this is for forbiddance to act. For not doing this service or not providing this kind of service elsewhere, then if I am getting 2 lakhs, then the 2 lakhs is also called as what? Consideration only. Forbiddance to act or restraining to trade. That one. Okay, so that amount if any paid is also called as what? Consideration only. Next, tolerating an act. Tolerating an act na, let me give an example. Sir, here there are 3 plots, sir. Okay, this was purchased by A, this is purchased by B, and this is purchased by C. Now in this plot, A has constructed a 12 floors building. 12 floors. Now for B, from one side sunlight is not coming. C has kept it vacant only. Now B is constructing a building. He is only constructing a 4 floors building. 4 floors building. Okay, he just want 4 floors only. He don't want to rent out anything. 4 floors. His family only be living there. So he want it like peacefully within 4 floors only. But he's worried about maybe if C also constructs a building afterwards, and then C may be constructing somewhere like 20 floors or 15 floors, then B will not be getting sunlight either from A side nor from this side also, because both the sides there are buildings with so much height, then B will not be getting the proper sunlight. Now what happened now? B has entered into an agreement with C. Like what? Whenever C constructs a building, he should not construct more than 4 floors. Should not construct more than 4 floors. More than 4 floors. For this, B is paying some 50 lakhs. So now this 50 lakhs is what? For forbiddance to act, this 50 lakhs is also consideration. Then afterwards, sir, C, now he agreed, like for 50 lakhs he has taken and thought like, okay, I'll not construct like more than 4 floors. But then afterwards, after 10 years, C also started constructing building, and he cannot restrict himself to be with 5 floors only. He also constructed 15 floors. But now he is violating this contract, na? So now he is violating the contract. So now C is paying to B 1 crore as compensation. 1 crore he is paying to B for violating this condition and paying 15 floors. Or it may be 1 crore or 2 crores. Now this 2 crores is also consideration only, because this is for tolerating the act of C. C first said like he will not construct more than 4 floors, but now he is constructing more than 4 floors. So for tolerating his non-satisfying the condition or contract, he is getting 2 crores. Such 2 crores is also treated as what? Consideration. Okay? Forbiddance to act, any amount received for forbiddance to act, for not doing an act, or for doing an act, or for tolerating an act, any amount received is also called as what? Consideration. Hello? Are you able to understand? Then look at this definition, sir. Simple definition, works contract. Sir, I am not referring the actual definition of works contract. Okay, actual definition would be little complicated. Okay, it's not, I mean, I never felt it like easy one, because always there will be something which is not, okay, quite easily understandable. Because works contract, I don't think they'll ask us like a write about works contract like kind of question. Works contract, you should understand what is called works contract. Okay, you should understand. Understanding alone is needed in works contract. It's not like you should write the definition of works contract as this. Okay, so what is called works contract? Works contract means it's a contract related to immovable property. Works contract means what? It's a contract related to immovable property. And it should involve supply of both good and services. It should involve what? Supply of both good and services. Okay, so works contract means construction, repairs, alteration, modification, etc. So you could do with respect to an immovable property, construction, repair, alteration, modification, anything, fitting out, all those things. Okay, actually the definition will be like this only: construction, repairs, alteration, modification, etc., etc. and all. Okay, but in simple, works contract na, close your eyes and then register in your brain. Contract related to immovable property, and it should involve both supply of good and services. Then it is called as works contract. Again, works contract means a contract related to immovable property, and it should involve supply of both good and services. Then taxable person. The next definition is what? Taxable person. Who is called a taxable person? A person who is registered under GST. Who is registered under GST. If you are registered under GST, you are a taxable person. Then you are not registered, but you have the liability to register. Sir, what does it mean by liability to register? You have already your turnover exceeded the threshold. Let's say 20 lakhs is the threshold. If your turnover exceeds 20 lakhs, you should register. Okay, that's the 20 lakhs is the threshold. Understand? When a person is already registered taxable person, then a person turnover exceeded 20 lakhs. Actually, he should register, but he didn't registered. A person turnover exceeded 20 lakhs. Actually, you should have registered, but this person didn't register. This person didn't register. So, a person who has the liability to register but didn't registered actually, that person is also called as a taxable person. A person who is registered or who has the liability to register is also called as a taxable person. A person who is registered or who has the liability to register, both are called as what? Taxable person. Then principal. Who is called principal? Principal, not school principal. Okay? Don't think like school principal and all. Principal means any person on whose behalf agent supplies goods, services or both. On my behalf, there is another guy who supplies goods, services or both on behalf of me. Let's say I'm a chartered accountant, and on behalf of me, my article is providing services to the client. Then my article is a agent. Okay, he's an agent because he's supplying goods, services on behalf of me. Since he's supplying on behalf of me, okay, an agent is supplying goods, services on behalf of me, I'm called as principal. I'm called as what? Principal. Principal means a person on whose behalf agent supplies or receives goods, services or both. Principal means what? Means a person on whose behalf agent supplies or receives goods, services or both is called as what? Principal. Then agent. Who is called agent? Agent means a person. Agent means a person including, agent means a person including broker, auctioneer, declaratory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent. Who is called an agent? Agent means any person. He may be called as broker, auctioneer, declaratory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent, by whatever the name you call. Okay, broker, auctioneer, declaratory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent, by whatever the name you call. If he is acting, I mean carrying on the supply of goods or receiving goods, services or both on behalf of some other person. Okay, agent means any person. If he supplies goods, services or receives goods, services on behalf of some other person, then is called as what? Agent. Agent means a person including broker, auctioneer, declaratory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent, by whatever the name he might be referred out of this. If he is acting, if he is supplying goods, services or both on behalf of some other person, then he is called as agent. Okay? Then online money gaming. The next definition is what? Online money gaming. Online money gaming. Online money gaming means an online game. Okay, it's an online game which would be played through internet or through online only by using an electronic gadget or device, either laptop or mobile, in which player pay or deposit money. Okay, to play or to participate in that game, scheme or whatever it could be, he need to pay certain money or deposit certain money. Okay, he need to pay money or he need to deposit money, or he could even deposit virtual digital assets. He can deposit what? Virtual digital assets. Means online money gaming in which player pay or deposit money, or virtual digital asset. Virtual digital assets now, like you may not be having the real money, you will be getting like some cashback points, referral bonus. Okay, those virtual money you will be getting as like a points in that particular app. Okay, if you do referral, you will be getting 100 points. Okay, 100 points. Maybe in that game they treat it as like 100 rupees. Okay, like that. Sir, are you able to get it clearly, right? The concept. It's not about the concept, like it's about whether the video is coming properly to you, right? Okay, if you have any issues, please chat there, send a message there, okay? So online money gaming means it's an online game in which player pays or deposit money. He should either pay money to participate in that particular game or scheme, or he should deposit money or virtual digital asset. He should pay money or deposit money or virtual digital asset in which, okay, why he is doing that? Sir, virtual digital assets, na, it's not real money. On referral, okay, or on like you like downloading the app for the first time, so they will be giving some cashback points or credits to you. So those are called as virtual digital assets in expectation. Okay, why you are participating in that game? In expectation of winning any event, including game, scheme, okay, whether that involves skill or not. Okay, so to win in that particular game, it's irrelevant whether skill is needed or not. It would be treated as online money gaming only. Example, Dream 11, and so many cricket related apps are there, online rummy, betting apps are there, all these things, okay, even all these games in which you will be paying money or depositing money or virtual digital assets in expectation of what? In expectation of winning any event, including game or scheme, whether or not the outcome is based on a skill or chance, then that is called as online money gaming. Then that is called as online money gaming. Now, the last definition, sir. Once we complete this definition, then we can enter into the topics in supply. Business. Business. So now we are learning about what? Business. Business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager. Business means what? Any trade, commerce, manufacture, trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager. Trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager. Okay, business means trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure or wager. Okay, so trade means usual buying and selling. Commerce is also buying and selling only. When you are talking about large scale, it is commerce. In a small scale, it is called as trade. Manufacturing. Then profession, CA, CMA, all this. Occasion. Sir, profession is different, occasion is different. Sir, in service sector, a carpenter will also provide service, a chartered accountant will also provide service, a cost accountant will also provide service. CAs and CMAs are professionals. But when it comes to a carpenter, an electrician, a plumber, okay, so these people, they are not professionals, but still they are providing services. So they are called as occasion, or an artist might be drawing a sketch, okay. So those people are, those services are called as what? Occasion. Any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit. By carrying out these activities, whether there may be monetary benefit or not, irrespective of that thing, if any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other similar activity is carried out, whether or not for a monetary benefit, then that is called as what? Business. Okay, so remember the first line, what? Any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit, then that is called as business. Okay, and business includes the transactions incidental to above are also called as business. So what does it mean by incidental? Let me explain you here. So there is a grocery store. Okay, so this is a grocery store. This grocery store, what they'll do? Usually they'll be selling groceries. Sells not trade. They'll trade groceries. So this is business only, first point. But additionally, now these groceries, they're providing delivery as well. Because, okay, in the cutthroat competition of this Instamart, Zepto, Blinkit, okay, because of their intense competition to survive, even this grocery store, okay, to survive, even this grocery store also started delivering. It started delivering groceries for a delivery charges, for a delivery charge. Now, delivering and getting delivery charge is not their trade, commerce or profession, but they are doing it incidental to that of the trade. Okay, they are doing it incidental to that of trade. So now, delivering, this activity of delivering goods is also will come under the definition of business. It also will come under the definition of goods. Okay, sorry, will the definition of business. So, business means any trade, commerce, so any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, any, okay, transactions incidental to above. Then, irrespective of volume, continuity and frequency. Irrespective of volume, continuity and frequency. Sir, understand? There is a person, let us take her name as Shrija. Shrija is an artist. Okay? Artist, now you have watched this movie, Telugu movie, Upiri. In that movie, Karthi will be there. Okay, it's like a multi-star, like Karthi and Nagarjuna both will be acting. In that movie, like Karthi will make a painting. Okay, so and that painting will be sold to Prakash Raj, right? So like that, Srija also made a painting, and she sold this painting for some 10 lakhs to, okay, Divakar. Okay, so now since this painting got sold, she is on, like literally Srija is in clouds now. Okay, I'm a so talented artist and all, so I have sold one of my painting for 10 lakhs. Then she has drawn, okay, she has ordered bulkly paints from Asian Paints and started painting, okay, and then he has made, like she has did like some another 75 paintings she has did, but none of them are getting sold. None of these paintings are getting sold, okay. She is venting for exhibition, she is saying like 20% off, 30% off, 90% off, but none of them are getting sold, okay. If any one person there is coming also, they're asking for 50 rupees, 100 rupees to put is like in front of their house, okay, in front of house, like I don't know, like, but in Telugu communities and all, they'll put in front of house like one ghost kind of photos, like not to, I mean, to avoid this negative energy and all, they'll put, okay, for that only they are asking these paintings. Nobody is asking like for that 10 lakh value, or at least for 1 lakh also nobody is asking. She is unable to sell all the others, okay. Now, okay, now the GST person came and saying like, she sold one painting na to Divakar. The sale of this one painting is also called as business. I have sold only one painting, that also Pavan, that fellow, somehow he has paid 10 lakhs. The other, none of my paintings are sold. Only one transaction I did, that also called as business, sir. Yes. Okay. Where it is mentioned, see, irrespective of volume, how much is the amount, how, whether it is continuing or not, how frequent it is being happened, it's not relevant. It's not relevant. Irrespective of volume, continuity, frequency, it is called as what? Business. So business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation, adventure, vigor, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit, and even includes transactions incidental to above, irrespective of volume, continuity, and frequency. Then Business means clubs, associations, societies providing facilities to members. Clubs, associations, societies providing facilities to members is also called as business. Clubs, associations, societies providing facilities to members. See, there is a gated community. Okay, so this one we'll take it as like what? It's a gated community. Here there are total 1,000 flats. In this gated community, they are formed as an AOP. All these 1,000 flats, related people, they are formed as an AOP. Now this AOP, from members, it will collect a membership fee. From members, from each member, it will collect membership fee. And then it offers services like lift, power, not breakup, sir, backup. So I written wrongly here. It's not breakup, it's backup. Correct it. Okay, power, backup, security, water. Okay, power, backup, security, water, these kind of services would be provided by collecting that membership fee. So now AOP providing these services, AOP na association. Association providing this like lift service, power backup service, security service, water, providing water and all. So all these will come under the what? Club, association, societies providing facility to its members. So it is also what? Business. Then admission of a person into premises for a consideration. They'll allow only into that particular premises only on payment of a entry ticket, like museums, parks. Okay, so they'll be allowing you into that premises only by paying an entry ticket. So those are also called as what? That collecting that entry ticket is also called as what? Business. Then activities of race club, where a race club is providing activities by way of totalizator. So totalizator, na, the one who organizes it is called as totalizator. Sir, I am an organizer of horse races. Okay, you are coming and participating in the horse race. Okay, so I will be collecting 1 lakh from you to participate in horse race. So I am called as what? The one who organizes that horse race is also called as totalizator. My activity is also called as business. Then transactions which are undertaken by government in which they are engaged as public authorities. Transactions undertaken by government, transactions which are taken by government in which, I mean, the transactions did by government, okay, by way of like issue of birth certificate, death certificates, other caste, community certificates, or other passport, driving license, visa. For all those, the government will be charging certain amount, right, and will be providing those services. So government collecting money and providing those services are also called as what? Business only. So business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit. And even transactions which are incidental to above, irrespective of volume, continuity, and frequency. And business even includes clubs, associations, service societies providing facilities to their members. And even admission of a person into premises for a consideration. And then activities of a race club by a totalizator. And then transactions undertaken by government in which they are engaged as public authorities. So this is the definition of business. Okay, sir. Supply chapter we could break down into 4 parts, like definitions, then section 7 and 8 along with schedule 1, 2, 3, and the third one is like clarifications. Like this we could divide the whole supply chapter. Out of this first part we have completed, definitions part. Now we are moving into section 7 and 8 along with schedule 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So look at here, section 7. Section 7 supply. Here we are having mainly 3 subsections. Section 7 subsection 1, 7 subsection 1 clause A, 7 subsection 2. Here there is a mistake, sir, here also, okay. 7.1 along with schedule 1 here, 7.1a along with schedule 2 and here along with schedule 3 negative list. Schedule 1, schedule 2, here it is schedule 3. Supply 7 subsection 1, here it along with 7 subsection 1 will be having schedule 1, schedule 2 and schedule 3. Okay. Identify a transaction as supply. Okay, 7.1 has again sub clauses also. 7 subsection 1 clause A, clause AA, clause B, clause C along with schedule 1. 7 subsection 1 has again sub clauses like clause A, clause B, clause C, clause AA also. So throughout the 7.1 we'll be identifying when a transaction can be called as supply. On happening of what a transaction can be called as supply. Sir, supply is the basic triggering point of GST. When GST is levied, only on happening of supply. So supply is the basic triggering point of GST. So it's very much needed for us to keenly understand what is called supply. On happening of what we can call it as supply, all those will be understanding clearly in 7 subsection 1. In what? 7 subsection 1. Then once we have decided here a transaction is supply, then we'll be taking it into 7 subsection 1A. Okay, assume these are 3 types of machines. First machine, we have our outcome is like, okay, we have identified it as like supply. Then 7.1A, like here the second round, here we'll be classifying them into either supply of good or supply of service. Sir, under 7.1 you have identified only whether it is supply or not. Okay, whereas in 7.1A and schedule 2 along with that, you will be finding out that whether such supply is supply of good or supply of service. You can find out whether it is supply of good or supply of service only through 7.1A with the help of schedule 2. Then once here you are decided as supply of good or service, then again you will be taking it to the third stage also, 7 subsection 2. Sir, 7 subsection 2 is something like a inspection kind of. Okay, there already they have some negative list. They'll check whether any of these things will fit into that negative list. If it fits into negative list, then it's not a supply. If it fits into negative list, then it is not a supply. So third round, it shouldn't get covered by negative list. Okay, if it is covered by negative list, then it's not a supply. So 3 parts in section 7, sir. 7 subsection 1. Here we'll be identifying whether a transaction is supply or not. Whereas under 7 subsection 1 clause A, we'll be classifying either again such transaction as supply of good or supply of service. Under 7 subsection 2, again negative list, here will be treating it as like neither supply of good nor supply of service. Neither supply of good nor supply of service. Okay. So now our discussion is like mainly into what? Section 7 subsection 1. You could see here under 7 subsection 1 we have 7 subsection 1 clause A, 7 subsection 1 clause AA, 7 subsection 1 clause B, and we are having even 7 subsection 1 clause C. We are having even 7 subsection 1 clause E. Clause A, clause AA, clause B and clause C. 7 subsection 1 clause A, clause AA, clause B and clause C. See here. Supply includes what? Supply includes sale. Sir, here they are not saying like supply means. They are saying what? Supply includes. Whenever they use the word or they are referring the word includes, it means they are not able to define it properly. They cannot close the definition. So that's why they'll be giving it like includes. When they are referring it as includes, so they are not exactly saying like this is called supply. They are going to give us examples. Okay, this happened na supply, this happened na supply, this happened na supply. So they are not giving a exhaustive list. This is only a indicative list. Okay, these are indicative lists. In future, if any new kind of transactions will arise, that can also be included into this definition. Okay, because whatever these points given, these are not the exact points. These are like what? Examples only. Examples of supply only. So supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Supply includes what? Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Carried out by a taxable person. Okay, so this activity of sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal should be done by whom? By a taxable person. Okay, before going further, let us even understand what is called sale. Sale means the usual buying and selling. What is called transfer? So transfer also same as like buying and selling only, sir. So then why, sir, they kept two words? Okay, why na? Before GST, you know, there used to be VAT Act. In several VAT Acts, for levy of VAT, they have used like VAT is levied on transfer of goods. That's the sentences they used. Instead of sale of goods, they have said it like on sale of, instead of sale of goods, they have used the word on transfer of goods. Okay, now after introduction of GST, they don't want to bring again unnecessary problems or interpretation related issues here. That's why they have included both the words sale, transfer. But sale and transfer doesn't have any significant difference. Both are like same only. Sale, transfer. Then barter. What is called barter? In barter, okay, what is called as barter? Let's say I went to my relative's home. I have taken them, like I took like some dozen apples to them. So when they are also coming, they'll also bring apples only. Okay, when I went to their house, like I taken sweets and went. Then they will also, whenever they come, they'll bring sweets only. Okay, so that's kind of barter. Okay, so on a lighter note, that is okay. Now exactly, let's say Divakar is a cost accountant, right? So he is providing services to a doctor, like the accounts maintenance, any tax related computations. Those services are maintained by Divakar. Now the doctor is providing to Divakar and his family, the whole family, whatever the medical related services needed, that would be provided by the doctor to Divakar. So now Divakar is providing tax consultancy services, whereas the doctor is providing to him and family the medical consultancy related services at free of cost. Okay, so now in barter, for the service offered, the service received, both will become exact consideration. There will not be any money involved. The one offered and the one they received, both will become the exact consideration for each other, exact consideration for the one another. Okay, so that is called barter. Let's say I have given rice, the other one will be giving me wheat. Okay, for the rice I given, the wheat I got will become the exact consideration, no money involved. Then that is called as barter. Whereas in exchange transaction, in barter also there will be exchange of goods and services, but no money is involved in barter. Whereas in exchange transaction, there will be again money will be involved. There will be again what? Money will be involved. Let's say I have an used mobile. Now what I'll do, I'll be providing or I'll be giving this used mobile, to the mobile shop, okay, and then I'll pay another 20,000 to get a new mobile. So now what is happening? To the mobile shop guy, he's getting 20,000 in money and he's getting an old mobile also. So it's not just I'm giving old mobile and they're giving me a new mobile. Their money also involved 20,000. Okay, so in exchange also, there will be exchange of goods and services along with monetary consideration. Okay, then that is called as what? Exchange. Then license, not driving license only. Okay, license means, let's say the license to mine an area, license to do mining, license to operate a particular business. Okay, so those are called as licenses. I mean, license means a permission. You need to pay certain amount, then only you will be getting the license. Then lease. So there are lease is mentioned here, and then even rent is also mentioned here. Lease is comparatively long term in nature. Lease is what? Comparatively long term in nature. Rent na, actually we should use lease for long term transactions. Hello. Actually, we should use lease for long-term transactions, whereas rent for short-term transactions. Okay? But those words like we'll use interchangeably. Both are covered under the definition of supply. Then this word disposal, you should have more clear understanding, sir. Disposal. Okay? Disposal. Disposal means, here in this sense, disposal word will come even in schedule 1. But schedule 1, the sense will change. Okay? Here disposal means, when you are selling away your furniture or plant and machinery, usually when you make a sale entry, what is the entry? Sales account debit, cash or bank account debit to sales. That's what you will do, right? In case of usual sale entry, cash or bank account debit to sales. This sales you are taking to P&L. But when you sell furniture, when you sell plant and machinery, what you will be writing the entry? Cash or bank account debit to the respective asset account you are creating. So it was nowhere going into the P&L. So maybe there's a question like you think like, okay, sale of plant and machinery, sale of this kind of capital goods is not a supply. Okay, no. Even if it is a capital goods sale also, it is covered under supply because under the name of disposal. When you are closing away your business, you are selling off all your plant and machinery, all your assets and all. Okay, then that comes under the disposal. Okay. So what supply includes? Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rent, disposal. Supply includes what? Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Carried out by a taxable person. Carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services or both in the course or furtherance of business. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Carried out by a taxable person. Who is called taxable person? I already said. A person who is registered or who has the liability to register. A person who is registered or who has the liability to register is taxable person. For a consideration, when you do these activities, that should have been done for a consideration. What is called consideration? Any amount paid or agreed to be paid, either in money or otherwise, in relation to supply of goods, services or both. It could have been paid by recipient or by any other person. It could have been paid by recipient or by any other person. And the last one is like, however, it excludes subsidy given by central and state government. So for a consideration, it should be related to what? Goods, services or both in the course or furtherance of business. What does it mean by course or furtherance of business? Either you are doing that in the regular activity of business, or you are doing that to increase or to enhance or to grow your business you are doing, or as a regular day-to-day activity of business you are doing, then it is called as supply. Okay, are you able to understand? Repeat along with me. Sir, be active. Okay, supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal, carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services or both in the course or furtherance of business. Then it is called as what? Supply. Then it is called as what? Supply. Hello? Is it clear? Then 7 subsection 1 clause AA. Now we are into what? 7 subsection 1 clause AA. For this we will be having an entry example also, sir. Let us understand with this example. It would be easy. First of all, understand there is something called principle of mutuality. Okay, what does it mean by principle of mutuality now? Firm and partners like one and the same will treat. AOP and its members, treating them like the firm and partners as one and the same. AOP and members as one and the same is called as principle of mutuality. Okay, so when firm giving it to partners, there is nothing there. Partners collectively itself is called firm. AOP giving to members, there's nothing, any transaction there, because collectively the members are only called as AOP. So they're treated as like one and the same. Okay, so now see here, sir. Here there is an association, sir, residential association. Just like as like I explained in the business definition, there is an AOP. Like there are some 1,000 flats, all like this 1,000 flats people, they have become an association. Now what, like Diwali is about to come, there are 1,000 members here. So they thought of like, instead of buying crackers individually, because all of them will be buying crackers. If they buy individually crackers, then they might be ending up spending so much money. So they got a brilliant idea. Like, why can't we buy the crackers collectively directly from Tamil Nadu? There is an area called Shivakasi, which is famous for crackers, right? So they thought like, we'll collect money, we'll pool money, and we'll buy directly from Shivakasi. A load will bring, so it would be at a lesser cost, right? So they thought of it. And like AOP, all these 1,000 members are paying rupees 1,000 each. How much, sir? They're paying, each member paying 1,000. Okay. So now AOP, what it is doing now, it is collectively, sir, from 1,000 members, 2,000, now it got 20 lakhs. So with this 20 lakhs, AOP went to, AOP na, some members, representatives went to Shivakasi, and directly they brought crackers from there. Directly they brought crackers from there. Okay. And then they paid 20 lakhs. They paid 20 lakhs. Now here, there are two parts in this transaction. One is like between the crackers one, the Shivakasi crackers, okay, this Shivakasi crackers, and they selling for 20 lakhs to association. This is one transaction. And there is another transaction also between AOP giving or distributing those crackers to members, but whether it did freely, no. Initially, it has collected 2,000 from each member. Okay, so this is the second part. Now the question is like whether these amounts to supply or not. Sir, first part, no doubt at all, because this crackers guy, see, this crackers guy, he is a taxable person. Okay, he is supplying what? Crackers. He is selling crackers, goods only, for a consideration 20 lakhs, and his business is also that in the course or furtherance of business. So cracker shop guy selling crackers to AOP is a supply only. Supply under 7 subsection 1 clause A. Now the question is, AOP again selling them to members. AOP again selling them to members. Selling, not selling. Initially only they are collecting, right? Just distributing the crackers by taking the 2,000. So whether it amounts to supply or not, yes, it also amounts to supply only, which was said by 7 subsection 1 clause A. You need to understand here, principle of mutuality is not valid. You cannot invoke principle of mutuality here. You cannot say like AOP and members are one and the same, na? You cannot say like AOP and members are one and the same. So AOP distributing it to members is not a supply. Principle of mutuality I will be applying, that and all you cannot say, because the section clearly given here, 7 subsection 1A, what it is saying, any person other than individual, I mean that's why we are taken here AOP, any person other than individual carrying activities or transactions with its member. What is the activity? Distributing the crackers with the members is the activity. For what? For cash or deferred payment. Yes, they are getting 2,000 rupees in cash or deferred payment. Then such activity amounts to what? Supply. Then such activity amounts to supply. So here, this AOP distributing crackers for the 2,000 rupees, either the spot payment or a deferred payment, it amounts to what? Supply. Sir, are you able to understand 7 subsection 1 clause A? Any person other than individual, any person other than individual carrying activities or transactions with its members for cash or deferred payment, it amounts to supply. For cash or deferred payment, it amounts to supply. Now, we are moving on to 7 subsection 1 clause B. We are moving on to what? 7 subsection 1 clause B. What does it say? Like, import of a service for a consideration is supply. Sir, import of a service. 7.1a and 1a we are done. Now we are into 7.1b. What does it is saying? Like, when you are importing service, importing now what? bringing from outside India to India. When there is an import of service for a consideration, it is supply, irrespective of whether it is in the course or furtherance of business. Understand, sir? When there is an import of service, it is supply, irrespective of whether it is in the course or furtherance of business. Import of service for a consideration is supply, irrespective of whether it is in the course or furtherance of business. Let us see here. Import of services. Okay? Import of services, that would be covered. There is another point in schedule 1, 7 subsection 1c also. Together we are discussing import of services. Yes, for a consideration. What I have said until now, import of services for a consideration is supply only, irrespective of in the course or furtherance of business. If it is in the course or furtherance of business, then it is supply. It is supply. Then, and it is taxable under RCM. Why RCM, sir? RCM means what? Reverse charge mechanism. Instead of supplier, recipient is the one responsible to pay tax. It is covered under what? RCM. If it is covered by RCM, who is the one responsible to pay tax? Not supplier. It is the recipient who is responsible to pay tax. Sir, understand? Import of service for a consideration in the course or furtherance of business. Taxable under what? RCM. Why? In import, the supplier is located outside India. You cannot ask him to pay tax. That's why the recipient who is located in India will only be paying tax. Okay? So, import of service, if it is for a consideration and it is in the course or furtherance of business, then it is a supply taxable under RCM. Okay, next. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, you have imported, but it is not in the course or furtherance of business. That means, let me take an example, sir. There is an interior decorator, Mr. A. He is providing the designing services. There is an interior decorator, Mr. A. He is providing designing services. This interior decorator is in UK. He is providing the design service to Mr. B, who is in Hyderabad. Now, this design, if it is for his house, then not in the course or furtherance of business. If it is for his office, then it is in the course or furtherance of business. Are you able to understand? Interior decorator provided designing services. You need to check whether it is in the course or furtherance of business or not. How to decide whether it is in the course or furtherance of business or not? If it is course or furtherance of business, it is supply. I mean, if it is for office, in the course or furtherance of business, it is supply taxable under RCM. However, if it is for house, then it is not in the course or furtherance of business. Then you should check whether importer is an government. Okay, if it is not in the course or furtherance of business, there is an exemption applicable, sir. So I am mixing exemption also and discussing. Okay, if it is not in the course or furtherance of business, then the one who is importing, I mean this B. Okay, this B you should check whether this B is government or charitable entity or individual. If B belongs to any of these three, if B is government or charitable entity or an individual, then such supply is exempted. Then such supply is what? Exempted. Understand, sir? You have imported a service. There is consideration. There is consideration. No doubt about consideration. There is consideration. Then you check whether in the course or furtherance of business. Yes, in the course or furtherance of business. Then it is supply taxable under RCM. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, not in the course or furtherance of business, then check whether importer is government or charitable entity or individual. If any of these three importer, then such supply is exempted. However, exemption is not available on OIDR services. You should remember this also. Exemption is not available on what? OIDR services. What does it mean by OIDR services? OIDR na online information data access and retrieval services. OIDR na online information data access and retrieval services. Okay. We'll be understanding, sir, what is called OIDR also, maybe in the next class. But now, import of service for a consideration in the course or furtherance of business, then it is supply taxable under RCM. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, if importer is government, charitable entity or individual, it is supply only. Because 7.1b said like when it is an import of service, irrespective of consideration, irrespective of in the course or furtherance of business, it is supply. Okay, it is supply only. But if the importer is government, charitable entity or individual, then such supply is exempted. If the importer is any other person, then that supply is taxable under RCM. If importer is any other person, then that supply is taxable under RCM. Sir, I am not going into this schedule 1 related. We'll discuss tomorrow only. Now, we'll discuss only the OIDR related, because 7.1b related we can complete. Okay. Because here I said like for OIDR exemption is not applicable. So we'll be understanding now who is called OIDR. OIDR means online information data access and retrieval services. This person will be providing online information data access and retrieval services. He is not e-commerce operator. E-commerce operator is different. OIDR is different. So this OIDR provides services, and this services is mandated by IT. I mean, you can provide this service only when there is internet or any other electronic network. Without internet or electronic network, you cannot provide this kind of service. So services which delivery is mandated by IT or internet or electronic network. And then considering the nature of this service, essentially makes it automated. Okay, this service has become automated with very minimal human interference. Okay, let's say the one example of OIDR is like OTT platforms. In Netflix, when you want to watch a movie, you'll open Netflix and you click on that movie and it gets played. Everything is automated, right? Just because, like let's say, you selected a movie in Netflix. What is some of the good movies in Netflix? Like, okay, Triple R. Triple R is in Netflix only, right? So you clicked on Triple R. When the Triple R movie is playing, it's automated only, right? Everything the software will only does. It's not like in the Netflix office, back there, one employee sitting there with a Triple R video copy or CD. Whenever you clicks on Triple R, he'll not be running towards the machine and he'll be putting that CD, then the movie is playing to you. Nothing like that, right? It's everything automated. So the same way, every service essentially makes it automated with minimal human intervention. And it is impossible to provide such service. You cannot even expect such kind of services in the absence of IT. If there is no internet, could you expect Netflix? Could you expect PUBG, Free Fire, these kind of games? Okay, you could play those games only with the kind of help of internet. Okay, so you cannot assume such kind of games without the absence of IT. Okay, so OIDR na services which delivery is mandated by IT over internet or electronic network, and the nature of services made them automated with very minimal human interventions, and it is impossible to provide such kind of services in the absence of IT. Then they are called as what? OIDR services. OIDR services na services which delivery is mandated by IT or internet or electronic network, and the nature of services essentially made it automated with very minimal human intervention, and it is impossible to provide such service in the absence of IT. The examples are like OTT platforms, gaming apps, social media platforms, etc. Okay, so now if you see import of OIDR services or online money gaming services. Okay, if it is like import of OIDR services or online money gaming services, what we have said here, sir, if any import not in the course or furtherance of business, and if importer is government, charitable entity, individual, then it is exempted. However, exemption is not applicable to OIDR services. Now see here, there is import of OIDR service or online money gaming service. If the recipient is an unregistered person, being government, charitable entity and individual who is bringing that for other than business purpose. I mean, you paid Netflix subscription, you made certain purchases within the gaming app, or in with respect to Instagram or anything, you have made certain payments to boost your post or to boost your reel, something. Okay, those you are using for your personal purposes only. Then it is supply only, because this exemption is not available. This exemption is not available to OIDR na, that's why if OIDR provides services to government, charitable institutions, individual other than for business, it is supply only. It is taxable, and it is taxable under FCM. I mean the OIDR only have to pay tax, not the you. Okay, let's say Priya has paid some 1,000 rupees to Instagram to boost her reel. I mean, boosting the reel na, it will the reach of this reel will be more. So that kind of boosting she did. Now OIDR, Instagram is also a OIDR. So it is providing to whom? An individual. And Priya did that for other than business purpose. So it is a supply, taxable. Who has to pay tax? Instagram will only be paying taxes. Then, if the recipient is any other person, let's say the same kind of advertisement through social media, Instagram provided services to any other, like let's say BCCA. Then also it is supply, taxable, but here it is under RCM. I mean, who has to pay tax? BCCA has to pay tax under RCM. Whereas in the first case, it is taxable under FCM. Okay? So I thought we are having a proper understanding of the concept. So tomorrow we can talk about schedule 1, then we can go through schedule 2, schedule 3, and if time permits, even we can finish off. We can finish off like composite supply and mixed supply. So till there, I think we can go on discuss tomorrow. Okay? So again, as in every class I say, regularity is the must. You come attend classes regularly. It's my job to make you feel comfortable in IDT. I assure you, you attend classes regularly. It's my job to get you that conceptual clarity in IDT. We'll solve problems, we'll solve MCQs, we'll discuss concept by concept. You'll get easily that not 60 is far behind, sir. We are like in the target of 70s only. Easily you could get that 70s, but the thing is like consistency. Okay? Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.